What is going on with the DJ Akademiks lawsuit? Well, I have no idea. Actually, no idea at all. No clue whatsoever because I haven't read this lawsuit, but I have it downloaded and it's right here. So I won't keep you waiting too long. I'll do some shout out to the people in the chat and the members and everything in just a little while, but I don't want to drag my feet here. Let's get right into this. Like I said, I have not read this. I have read a couple news reports, just literally just trying to find where it was filed so that I could download it. I got this from the New Jersey courts. It's a public document. Everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm just commenting on it, all of that. Also, watch this video, this live at your own discretion because this is not an edited video and I have not read this lawsuit. I also happen to know that it was filed by Tyrone Blackburn and I know that he likes to put pictures in his lawsuits. Okay, so that's your disclaimer. All right, if it's too much, I'm gonna try to I try to not I try to keep it clean and stuff over here, but I have not read this lawsuit. Okay, watch this live stream at your own risk. Okay. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I don't okay. I do want to comment on some of y'all's comments and stuff, but let's just get into this. Let's do a little bit of this first, and then we'll do a little chit-chatting. Okay. So yes, DJ Akademiks, who has ties to Adam Grand Mason, and he has ties to who did he date? Serena, I don't know, somebody, but now Selena Powell, something like that. Now she's dating a guy from Love is Blind who left one of the girls at the altar. I don't know. Yes, he has been sued, DJ Akademiks, and his legal birth certificate name apparently is Alan Livingston. No, sorry, excuse me. Livingston is his first name. Livingston Allen, Allen. Okay. So plaintiff, oh Lord, I should have learned how to say her name. Fauzaya. Oh, she goes by something. What's she go by? Zaya? Let me look that up real quick. Wait, is it on here? I think it's Zaya she goes by. Let's see. I don't want to say the girl's name wrong the whole time. I think it's Zaya. Somebody, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Somebody put me in the chat. All right. We're 3 minutes in. Okay, not bad. Whew. Okay. So plaintiff is Zaya. That's what we're gonna call her until somebody corrects me. Excuse me. On or about July 16th, 2022. Okay, so like 2 years ago or so. Defendant, that's Akademiks. When it says Allen, that means Akademiks. Contacted Miss Abashi. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Abashe. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna say Zaya. And invited her to come to his house. All right, so Akademiks hits her up, invites her 2 years ago to his house in New Jersey. Even though it had been almost a year since they last saw each other, she did not suspect any ill intentions and she agreed. So she went to the house. She was accustomed to visiting him at his home in New Jersey. And he would often, it looks like he would send a car to pick her up. It does go on to say that she lives in Pennsylvania. So that's right next to each other. I mean, Pennsylvania and New Jersey could literally be 1 minute apart. So I would need to know more, but that's not unusual, or whatever. But I do, my issue spotting from law school comes up of like, well, she did travel across state lines in the prospect of this whole thing going on, according to her. So that will come into play for certain reasons in the future, perhaps. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just kind of like talking through this as I go through it. Okay, second paragraph. On the day of the incident, when Zaya arrived to enjoy her evening, little did she know that Akademiks, Allen, and his 2 accomplices, John Doe 1 and John Doe number 2, would give her substances and assault her in a specific way I can't say, but y'all can read it right here. Look, beep, beep. Okay. The morning after the incident, Zaya was unaware of what happened. She only became aware after Akademiks himself, this is her allegation, okay, after he showed her surveillance footage of her being assaulted by these accomplices, John Doe 1 and 2. And apparently, this all took place on a pool deck. Zaya was in shock and fearful after the reality of what had occurred set in. In the aftermath, she reported Akademiks. So she did go. A lot of times, whenever we see these lawsuits, a common question is, why didn't she say anything at the time? So this is saying she did. She did say something at the time. It's saying she reported Akademiks and his accomplice's actions to the police, and a you know what kit was performed. This was evidencing that she had been assaulted. So she has this kit, she has the evidence. What else does the evidence say? Paragraph 5 says, since reporting these horrific assaults, she chose silence and remained silent until on or about around New Year's Eve, just last year, a few months ago, like 5 months ago. Akademiks took to social media and defamed Zaya. Akademiks accused Zaya of voluntarily having a relation with all these people. Y'all can read it right here. There's certain things I just ain't trying to say out my own mouth at the, current. Voluntarily. So he goes on social media, December 30th, 2023. So just like 5 months ago. And he says, some things that now Tyrone Blackburn and what's her name, Zaya, are claiming were not true. Specifically, she says, Akademiks went out here and said that I had an ORGY with these friends voluntarily, and that is not what happened. And I have the you know what kit to prove it. That's kind of what she's saying so far. She says this led to a spew of public slander as Akademiks' account of what happened spread like wildfire on multiple media outlets. As detailed below, he made several public statements defaming Zaya surrounding the events of the assault. She was filled with anger, and all the suppressed and painful memories of that horrific night resurfaced. Okay, so there's a timeline to pay attention to here. She alleges that this assault occurred July 2022. But he didn't say anything publicly until just a few months ago. So it was like a year and a half went by before he actually said this publicly. And all the while in that year and a half, she was struggling. She was going through it, but she had chosen not to say anything about it. She was mad, all that. So then he starts going on, social media a few months ago talking about it. And it brings back up all of those painful and, repressed memories and feelings is what she is saying. Again, this is just her side of things. We do have to wait and see everybody's side, all the evidence. This is just the first filing in the lawsuit, and it was filed yesterday. In her state of anger, Zaya released a video, addressing his involvement in her assault. I did not know this. I have not kept up with this story. This is kind of like I'm jumping right in. So, in her state of anger, she released a video. Oh, I got to go watch that video. Maybe I'll do a reaction to it or something at another time. And she was addressing his involvement in her assault. When her account of the incident was published, then Akademiks lashed out with false statements. He denied involvement, even though apparently his DNA was found when they ran that kit. Okay, that's what it's saying in this lawsuit. Him coming out and lying about her allegedly publicly damaged her reputation even further. Akademiks and his two accomplices' assault severely injured Zaya, causing significant physical and psychological pain and suffering, loss of dignity, and invasion of privacy. Akademiks' public statements added to the harm that she was already silently suffering. Oh my God. Tyrone Blackburn is funny for this. He does put these funny pictures of people. Like, this is the lawsuit, sir. And this is the picture of all pictures. Plaintiff is a writer, and she lives in Pennsylvania. This is Livingston Allen, aka DJ Akademiks. Defendant Allen is a social media antagonist and commentator, primarily known for his presence on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Currently, he lives in New Jersey. At all times in here, John Doe's 1 through 2. Okay, authorized. Okay, so there's John Doe's who they're naming, John Doe's 1 through 10. We don't know who their names are, but they were allegedly at the house or whatever. Okay. AB. So there's also some corporations that are getting sued and they're being called ABC corporations, but I don't think that means like American Broadcasting Corporate. I don't think that's ABC. I think it's just like, John Doe, Corporation Jane Doe, whatever. Okay, they're suing in New Jersey. Okay, according to Miss Abashi, according to Zaya, she met Akademiks online sometime in 2021. She began casually dating him. Okay, so another important thing to me, I think is important, is she's dating him. Or was. I'm sorry, excuse me, misspoke. I'm trying to do two things at once. Y'all know I can only do one thing at once and mess that up. Okay. She dated him. She's saying she dated him, according to her. At the time she lived in Pennsylvania, she did not have transportation. So Akademiks would send her a car service like a Uber or a Lyft to pick her up in Pennsylvania and bring her to New Jersey. Okay. As she stated previously, July 2022, Akademiks contacted her, invited her to visit the house in New Jersey. She did not suspect, any ill intentions, even though it had been almost a year since they last saw each other. She was accustomed to visiting him and him sending the car. And so so Akademiks sent a car to pick her up. Unbeknownst to her, Mr. Allen, that's Akademiks, had an ulterior motive when he invited her to his home, July 16th, 2022. Before she got there, Akademiks had notified his friends, that's John Doe's number 1 and 2, that a woman would be coming over and she was on a different type of vibes. That's right here. A different quote, a type of vibes is an indication that Zaya was coming over to engage in sexual activity. I don't know. I need more evidence, Tyrone. I'm sorry. Like somebody being on a different type of vibes is not necessarily indicative, I don't think, of this. But maybe you have some proof. Let's see. According to a post on social media, Akademiks admitted to telling John Doe 1 and 2 and stated, so he's citing from a YouTube video and he's saying, according to this YouTube post, Akademiks said the following, quote, "Now, granted, this is a girl who I've been dealing with for a couple years. I messed with her for years." And then he has this part bold and italicized. "When she came over that time, she had told me she was like a dancer or some beep like that. I remember." And this part is bold too. "I don't know if maybe my bleep took it the wrong way because I remember she had told me she was like, yo, the girl you used to know, like, I'm on some bad girl vibes now type beep." Basically, she was like doing her thing. Okay, should we click this? Oh, I'm kind of scared to click it. Okay, hold on. Let's just read through it and then we'll go and if it's like too hard, we'll go back. But we'll go back regardless and we'll watch this part. But I just don't want to like get all off track. I'm just trying to get through the lawsuit. You know what I mean? Okay. So this quote right here, this paragraph I'm reading right here, see how it's like indented more? Like this one right here. See, it starts 22 right here and then it indents. So this indented quote, this is called a block quote. This block quote is being used by Tyrone Blackburn to support his argument that DJ Akademiks told his friends before Zaya ever even showed up. They're saying he had already warned his friends, oh yeah, this is going to be like an FO, like a offs type of situation. This is going to be a bleep fuel type of thing. And as proof for that, we have this block quote. And the block quote comes from a YouTube video that we could watch in a little while. But it says this quote from DJ Academics. Now, granted, this is a girl I've been dealing with a couple years. When she came over that time, she told me she was like a dancer or something like that. I don't know if maybe he's saying like basically his friends took it the wrong way. So that's kind of admission of guilt a little bit. Not really guilt. I shouldn't say guilt. This is civil, not criminal. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and nobody's been, convicted of anything. This is one side. But I don't know. Maybe my buddies, my friends, whatever, took it the wrong way. I don't know. Remember, she told me, she was like, the girl you used to know. Like, I'm on some bad girl vibes now type bleep. Basically, she was doing her thing. I remember I told John Doe, this is still a quote from DJ Academics. He's saying in this quote, I remember I told them, John Doe 1 and 2, I'm like, yo, this is before when I was going to the party. I was like, yo, I'm about to get this girl, that's Zaya, coming over here later for me. She told me she's on some different type of vibes. I don't know if that's what they took from it, and I can't really speak to what they were thinking. I'll only speak to myself. Okay, bet. Cool. Okay. So he has come out and talked about this incident. And this is already discussed in the lawsuit. She already did tell us this, Zaya. She said this. She's like, okay, look, listen, when he came out making allegations defaming me, I, out of anger, whatever you want to call it, I jumped back and I made my own video and I addressed what really happened that night. And then I think it appears as though there was some type of little bit of back and forth. Maybe there was just those 2 videos. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I haven't been following this story. I'm just reading the lawsuit. Nope. That is a script for Blippi. Where is the lawsuit? Okay. I have been like neck deep, forehead deep in Blippi. And I'll just tell y'all right now, I wouldn't let my kid watch it, but video coming soon. All right. So what are we looking at here? This is paragraph 23. When Zaya arrived at Akademiks' home that night, everything seemed normal, apart from the neighborhood power outage. Well, that's interesting. We have a power outage in the middle of the neighborhood. Okay, so there's a neighborhood power outage. John Doe. So now we have a last name, Caliph or Khalif. So now we're saying names all of a sudden when we've been calling somebody John Doe 1 this for 3 pages. How many? 5 pages? Why are we saying that all of a sudden, Tyrone? Why? Okay, the guy's Caliph. They're giving us a name now all of a sudden. I don't know why. She arrived at his house that night. Everything seemed normal except the power was out in the neighborhood. John Doe 1, a friend of Akademiks, greeted Zaya. She was taken aback because she didn't expect him to be there. Akademiks apparently had not told Zaya that there would be other people there. So maybe she just thought she was going over there just to hang out with only him. I hate that. I mean, that hasn't happened to me in like, I don't know, years. But, have you ever like been dating in college or whatever and you like show up thinking you're about to hang out and watch Netflix and like whatever. And then like there's like a whole couch full of people and you're like, well, okay, I wish I just would at least been told. Like I could have come over here. I could have done this for this vibe. But like, even when you go to hang out with a friend or a family member and it's like there's all kind of people there, like I need a warning before somebody else answers the door. That's just me. All right. Even though it took her, she was taken aback, she didn't really suspect anything. She didn't think something suspicious was going on. So she entered the home. John Doe 1, the guy who had answered the door, invited her into the kitchen and introduced her to yet another person she didn't expect to be there, who would have been John Doe 2. Slime? They naming this one Slime. Come on. So now all of a sudden, John Doe 1 and 2 are Caliph and Slime? Why? Due to the power outage, they sat in the kitchen together. She engaged in small talk with them while patiently waiting for Akademiks to appear. She recalls John Doe 1 was relatively talkative, but John Doe 2, Slime, was oddly quiet. Initially, they offered her a drink. She refused and opted to make her own drink, as she was accustomed to doing whenever she went to his house. So they offered her a drink. She said, no, I'll make my own drink. John Doe 1 insisted that they prepare her drink. This is given a little bit reminiscent of the P. Diddy vibes. A little bit. They insisted that they prepare her drink. Unbeknownst to her, John Doe 1 was actually Akademiks' manager or employee. He asserted his position by telling her that he was in charge until Akademiks arrived. Okay. So she's like, then in the middle of him insisting that he's the one got to make my drink, all of a sudden, then he wants to tell me he's like working with or for Akademiks in some way, and he's in charge till Akademiks gets back. As odd as this encounter was, Zaya obliged and allowed John Doe and John Doe 1 and 2 to fix her drink. As the trio went on in their conversations, she asked for Akademiks and was told to hold on. Okay, so she's like, okay, can I talk? Like, where's he? And somebody told her to hold on. John Doe 1 then left the kitchen to find Akademiks. And when he came back, so John Doe 1, that's the one that's supposed to be like his Akademiks employee or his worker or his manager or something. He leaves the kitchen to find Akademiks. When he comes back, he don't have Akademiks with him, but he says he'll come shortly. Zaya believed that this was true, and she did not go to find him herself because the home was completely dark. This is so weird, but apparently the power was out in the whole entire neighborhood. Admittedly, she recalls having an eerie feeling. I know, I kind of feel that feeling right now too, girl. Like just, but she ignored it because she did not believe that Akademiks, who she had known for nearly 2 years at this point, would harm her or allow her to be harmed. So she dismissed her feelings as nerves and waited for him to arrive, which, I mean, yeah, that's probably what I would have done at that point too. Shortly after the power turned back on, John Doe 1, that's the one that works with Akademiks, he's like an employee or a manager. He asked if Zaya wanted to use the hot tub or the pool and wait for Akademiks in the hot tub or the pool. She said she'd be okay with the hot tub. Again, she did not suspect anything because she was accustomed to using the hot tub and the pool when she previously visited Akademiks' home. So, yeah, admittedly, she went in the hot tub, but she didn't think it was anything untoward because these people were just saying, he's about to be around. Just wait. She never met him, didn't know him from Adam, according to her. She dismissed these feelings as nerves and she waited. Oh, sorry. Also, she was under the impression that John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 would leave after they put the hot tub on, as their actions and gestures made it appear as though they were going to be leaving. So she wasn't told they were coming. She wasn't told they were going to be there. So in her mind, she's sitting here thinking, all right, maybe they're just about to leave. It looks like they might be about to leave. They're asking if I want to wait in the pool or the hot tub. So maybe they're just trying to get me out the house so he can do it. That's kind of how she's explaining it a little bit. She enters the hot tub alone. Importantly, I think it's important that Tyrone put that as one sentence. Tyrone, Attorney Blackburn. One sentence. She got in that hot tub alone. Okay, important. And I like that I like that writing style. Also, I have to say, I'm impressed because he's gotten in some hot water and stuff through some of these filings. And I can definitely tell he's put some of that criticism and stuff to use. And his language is changing a little bit to like appeal to these different courts. And I'm very impressed with it. Because I've seen, this was like 5th lawsuit I've read filed by him. Okay, so shortly after Zaya gets into the hot tub alone, John Doe 1, the one that works with Akademiks, appeared from inside the house. He just appeared. And he proceeded to join her in the hot tub. Shortly after that, the other John Doe, the other guy, Slime, he appeared with a bottle of alcohol and began forcing Zaya to take shots. According to her, she vaguely remembers Slime, John Doe 2, nervously pacing around the pool area. Well, I don't know how credible that evidence is, but included it, I guess. Eventually, she recalls beginning to feel strange. And it was not simply a feeling of intoxication, as she had only had a half of a drink and a few sips of the new drink that John Doe 1 had given her in the hot tub. Okay, I see. So she had been given 2 drinks by this John Doe 1 guy, the one that works for Akademiks, but she only drank half the first one. And she's saying she only had a few sips of the second one. And she started feeling weird. And for her, it was beyond just feeling drunk. She hadn't had enough to feel that way yet, is what she's trying to say. She began feeling extremely hot, as if her body was on fire. And she felt lightheaded and dizzy. Okay. Well, I don't know what could make somebody feel like they were extremely hot as if their body is on fire. But I'm wondering if it's that pink stuff from Diddy's house or what, girl. I don't know. Okay. So apparently John Doe 2, Slime, he notices that she's acting a little bit funny. And he's asking her if she was lit. And then he returned to the kitchen. So he's like, "Are you lit?" And then he leaves and goes to the kitchen. He returned with more alcohol, which John Doe 1 and 2 insisted that Zaya drink. They even went so far as to pour the alcohol into her mouth forcibly. This is given red flag 911 vibes. According to Zaya, she recalls John Doe 1, the employee or the manager, becoming, quote, very handsy as he aggressively made advances toward her, which she rejected. Upon information and belief, John Doe 2 was on the sidelines watching while all of this was happening. Okay, so I do know a little bit of information that I want to bring up right here. Whenever Akademiks came out and addressed this publicly during that back and forth where they were both making videos and statements about this, Akademiks said at one point he saw the footage of this incident happening, this footage of this incident taking place on his pool deck. And in the footage, he claims there were relations going on that appeared to him to be voluntary and consensual between and amongst more than, just the two people. It was her and the two guys. Well, this right here is making me wonder, is this what he's talking about? Because the way he described it was like he had already gone to sleep. He was asleep in his bed, and people had stayed awake, and he went or he was, I don't know, something, but he came back outside and he's like, "Oh my God, you guys are still awake." And her hair was, he called it frizzy. That was his words. And like she had been swimming in the pool or something. So before I read this lawsuit, the story as if it had been told was like, this was like a very late night after party type event where they had all kind of hung out and Akademiks had gone his separate way. And maybe she was back out on the porch, or the pool deck or whatever. And then, the articles that I read today made it seem like her statement was that, Akademiks had met up with her beforehand. So this is all a little bit confusing to me. Some ain't adding up. Somebody wasn't telling the full story at some point, right? Or the true story. Let's continue. According to this lawsuit, John Doe 2 was staying on the sidelines and watching it happen between John Doe 1 and Zaya, who has now said in this lawsuit, that she was feeling dizzy and she was burning up hot. According to Zaya, John Doe 1 would not take no for an answer. Again, I said this disclaimer at the beginning. I have not read this lawsuit yet, y'all. I don't know what we're about to get into. I don't know, it's a little landmine, a little tricky territory. So continue watching this live, unedited live stream at your own risk. Okay. Or at your own discretion, I should say, not risk. I don't think much of that risk. Okay. He would not take no for an answer, quote. He began groping her. Eventually, he picked her up and tossed her into the pool. Oof. Oh, I would be so pissed. He picked her up and tossed her into the pool, which was adjacent to the hot tub. I can imagine what it looks like, pools next to the hot tubs. According to Zaya, she was disoriented, having trouble breathing. She struggled to get out of the pool, and she was afraid of drowning. As she attempted to crawl out of the pool while still disoriented and struggling to breathe, John Doe 1 attacked her. Oh my gosh. Well, this probably is on camera, so I'm hoping they didn't delete it. He forcibly removed her clothing and proceeded to do some other forceful things I will absolutely not be reading. She did not consent to this encounter. In fact, due to the alcohol and whatever substance she believes was placed within the alcohol, she was not even in her right mindset. In her right mindset to consent, even if, uh, even if she had said yes, because she was so messed up, is what Tyrone Blackburn, the attorney, is saying happened. She has memories of fighting off the attackers, but feeling extremely weak. She was assaulted, and Zaya would later learn, ugh, ugh, that John Doe too was over there in the bushes lurking, undressed. Oh, girl. And this is all going to be on somebody's Ring camera. My word. She would later learn that as she lay lifeless on the concrete, John Doe 1 was standing in the pool. And John Doe 2, oh my word. And this is sick. John Doe 2 was undressing in the bushes, and then he was going to come ambush. Y'all can pause and read it. Just, I'm definitely not going word for word on this. Oh man. Then they proceeded to engage in the relations all together. And what Zaya is saying is she was like basically like lifeless. Like she has vague memories, but she's basically saying she's blacked out. This was witnessed by the police when the surveillance footage was recovered. As John Doe 1 finished assaulting Zaya, he, quote, allowed John Doe 2 to go on and assault in the same way. According to Zaya, lying on the concrete was the last memory she had of that part of the attack. She recalls going in and out of consciousness, but she does not recall ever entering the home. Whatever substance that they had allegedly slipped into her drink negatively impacted her memory and caused her to lose consciousness. According to her, she recalls being awakened without any clothes in a bed in what she believed was Akademiks' bedroom. She believes this is around 4 a.m. She was awoken at this point by Akademiks, quote, savagely pulling her hair. And the quote goes on, and I will not read verbatim, but basically more of the same of what happened to her outside at the pool. This is about 4 a.m. According to Zaya, Akademiks was relentless. He tried to assault her in a certain way, but was unsuccessful because she was moving. As a result, he assaulted her in a different way. He was not using protection during either of these assaults. And apparently his family jewels was found within that kit they ran. So I do not even want to in any way allege or speculate that. I am simply just reading what's in this lawsuit. That is something that is I don't know, but that is what is being alleged here. Zaya says, oh, this is so sad if true, and so sad if not true, because that's sick if somebody would make this up. She recalls begging Akademiks to stop the assault. She recalls her voice was faint as she continued to drift in and out of consciousness. It's like the sleep paralysis demon. She remembers crying for most of the assault, but she lost her ability to physically move. She eventually just gave up fighting in hopes that it would be over quickly. She was instructed to open her mouth. Oh God, he's sick. I'm definitely not reading that. Okay. He wanted to have her mouth open for various reasons. Y'all can read it. You can pause and read it. If you know how to read, you should read it. According to Zaya, she woke up confused and searched for Akademiks. So she couldn't remember really, I guess. She just woke up disoriented the next morning and she started searching for Akademiks. According to her, she looked around the house and found him in the basement on his computer. She says she sat on the floor next to him and he asked her if she knew that his friends had assaulted her. And she said no. He didn't say assaulted. He said ran a boop boop on her, but I'm not. I don't. I just some stuff I just don't want to say. So he's like, "Do you know that you engaged in a certain act with my friends last night?" And she's like, "No." He kept saying, "Are you sure?" He told her everything was all right and that if he was good if she was cool. He's like, "Yeah, don't like it's fine. Like I'm not upset about it. Just tell me, just tell me." According to her, she was baffled in disbelief. According to her, Academics then asked her to follow him into another room where he showed her the contents of a small trash can that had what appeared to be vomit in the trash can. Ew. And two condom wrappers. Ugh. And he said, "Oh my God, this is horror. This is a horror movie. This is a horror movie. This is the plot of a horror movie." I'm not saying it didn't actually happen, but uh, he's like showing her this disgusting trash can of remnants and like, "You don't remember this?" Like, what? She was still in disbelief. She had zero recollection of ever being in that room the night before. She doesn't remember being in the room. According to Zaya, it appeared that after John Doe 1 and 2 assaulted her, they had taken her then into another room in the house and continued the assault. Ugh. Then Academics allegedly handed her the trash can, and asked her to throw it away. She then asked for her phone, and Academics went to get it. So why did he have her phone? That's a question I would like answered. She had to ask him for her phone. He continued to tell her everything was all right if she was okay. At this point, she was still in disbelief and asked for proof of what had occurred. She said, "I don't believe it. Do you have proof?" According to her, Academics showed her surveillance footage of John Doe and 1 and 2 assaulting her, and he skipped through the video. According to her, as she watched the video, she looked like she was just lying there lifeless, which did not sit right with her. According to her, Academics then assured her that everything was okay. And as he spoke, he noticed her demeanor began to change. So he was kind of trying to downplay it, according to this lawsuit. He was trying to kind of say, um, "It's fine. I'm not upset as long as you're okay or whatever." And she's like, getting a little suspicious, and he noticed it, according to this lawsuit. He then hastily told her that his mom was on the way and his mom would be there shortly, and proceeded to order her a lift back to Pennsylvania. So he's like, "All right, well, my mom's on the way, so you got to go by." According to Zaya, Academics asked her where her clothes were. She responded that she had it. He stood there with a suspicious look on his face. She later learned from the police that if he had disposed oh, sorry. She later learned from the police. Oh, this serious. Okay, this is allegations. This is just allegations. I wasn't there, but I'm going to read from what this lawsuit. He asked her, I'm not reading. I'm paraphrasing from this lawsuit. According to Zaya in the lawsuit, Academics asked her where her clothes were, and she said, "I have them." And he looked at her suspiciously. And she would later learn from the police that Academics had thrown away a bunch of stuff from that night. And what did he throw away but bed sheets, etc.? Several items were disposed of at the dumpster near his office. The lawyer in this lawsuit, Tyrone Blackburn, he says presumably Mr. Allen Academics was attempting to destroy the evidence of this assault, or several assaults, it sounds like. Zaya, in the moment, began feeling uneasy. She felt that Academics was attempting to take her clothes for some reason, presumably to hide whatever evidence she may have of what happened to her the night before. As these thoughts ran through her mind, so as not to alarm academics, she remained composed as she waited for the lift to arrive. She said goodbye to academics and she left. According to her, she called academics while in the lift, asking for more answers. He then began to blame her and ridicule her. Still trying to get answers, she pleaded with him, even apologizing for what occurred, as she was desperate to learn of the series of events that had led to academics and his accomplices' attacks on her. According to Zaya, she asked academics, quote, "Well, you said it was both of them, but you only showed me one. Can you please send me proof of this?" To which academics sent a screenshot of the attack on Zaya laid out on the concrete in front of the pool with both of the John Does there. Um, this was terrifying to her, as she knew within herself she would never consent to any of this. Even though she had previously been intimate with academics and years in the past, it was never any type of three-person party or anything other than one-on-one consensual activity. She arrived home where she felt safest. The reality of what had happened began to set in. She also began feeling intense pain in the areas of where she had been assaulted in her private regions. She contacted academics again, saying she was hurt and wanted to see someone. She felt destroyed, but she was also afraid, and she wanted to know if there would be repercussions from academics if she were to seek help. She asked him for the complete footage, but he refused. He suggested that she get tested for STDs, and he said he would do the same. This was an odd statement because it was proof that academics, who had not slept with her for over a year, engaged in. Oh, okay. So this to her was more proof. So in her mind, she remembered him assaulting her, but it's like hazy and she didn't remember it that well or whatever. So this, when he was like, "You should get tested, I'll get tested too," when he said, "I will too," that was an admission. And, based on how they're kind of framing it, right? That was proof, quote, proof. Still fearful, she contacted her immigration lawyer, who advised her to contact the police, regardless of the outcome of the testing. She did call the police and she reported the incident of assault. They told her that due to the seriousness of such a matter, she had to appear in person to speak with them, and she should also visit a local hospital for a kit. She went to the hospital, Penn State Health in St. Joseph, where the kit test was performed, and the police then called her to schedule a meeting. Okay. So she calls the police, reports the assault. They instruct her to go to the hospital and get tested for evidence. She follows their instructions. She gets tested for the evidence. Presumably, she probably also, I don't know, at some point got tested for the other things that academics told her to get tested for. And the police then followed up with her to schedule a meeting. According to Zaya, during the meeting with the police, they took her statement. They took photographs of, I think that's supposed to say, bruises and scars. And the officers asked her to participate in a recorded wire call. Whoo, this is not good. Cooked. So they asked her to wear a wire, like a tapped phone, like call him to set him up. Well, not set him up. It's not really a setup, but that's what they wanted her to do. And she agreed. According to Zaya, during this phone call, the police wrote down a list of questions for her to ask academics, but told her don't make it obvious that the police were listening. She remembers asking academics to describe how she looked when he saw her in the bed. And he answered on the wiretap phone call, "You look like you were in the pool." According to Zaya on this call, academics graphically recounts and admits to having relations with her that night. He even went so far as to describe her body parts as in a derogatory way. And then, yeah, gives a quote. I know what your private parts feel like, and it is disparaging, disparaging, disparaging. Based on information and belief, this evidence was used to obtain a warrant for the footage, and police secured the footage and other evidence. Okay, so Tyrone Blackburn is saying they got a warrant. The police got a search warrant for that footage based on this wiretap phone call, so it must have worked. According to Zaya, the kit that they did in the hospital that the police asked her to do, they produced evidence that Zaya was in fact assaulted. In addition to the test kit, there were images of bruises on her arm, her back, buttocks, legs, and this is all evidence of the struggle that she endured and the sheer brutality of the attack. At the time of her attack, she weighed less than 115 pounds. The attackers were approximately 5'10", 160 pounds, and 5'11", 180 pounds. As detailed earlier, Zaya was assaulted on a concrete pool deck, as evidenced by the photo below, which I'm not going to show. I'm glad he put, thank you, thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, sir. He put the photo on the next page so that I can remove this page and scroll past it, but let's finish reading what it says. As evidenced by the photo below, her body was lying limp and lifeless, while John Doe 1 and 2 proceeded to pull her back and forth on the concrete, causing bruising and lacerations to her body. Okay, I'm not going to, oh my God, nope. Holy, let me make sure there's not, oh my God. Wow, Tyrone, I would have expected, oh my God, I would have expected there to be a little more censorship than that. Okay. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't like showing any of that stuff. I didn't want to see it myself, really. Okay, she was unconscious or incoherent because it is unconscionable to believe that any person who is willing participant in these acts can endure the pain of being dragged back and forth on concrete, incurring scrapes and scratches on their back, buttocks, elbows, especially while there is an empty lawn chair in arm's reach, as well as several empty rooms in the home. And then he says below are some photographs of her injuries, which also I'm not going to show. But that is an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Even if you are like willingly, consensually participating in something and whatever. And I know Akademiks used to hang out with Adam 22 and them, and they are freaky and they do weird, deranged, in my opinion, stuff. Look, their body, their choice. But as long as it is, I find it to be an excellent point that she wasn't wincing or like trying to move a little bit, even with getting scraped and dragged across the concrete. And there are pictures of her. Yes, I would say that what I am looking at on her back is consistent with being dragged. It's not anything outrageous. I'm gonna, out of abundance of caution, I'm not gonna show it, but I will say that from what it looks like to me, this is a public lawsuit. I'm sure y'all can find these pictures elsewhere. It looks like she was dragged on her back. There's a bruise on her elbow, bruise on looks like the knee or maybe the other elbow. Yeah. There's scrapes. There are scrapes. It's nothing like, to write home about. It's nothing that I think like in and of itself is like, oh my God, bring this girl to the hospital. But yes, it is scrapes. Okay. Let me pull it back up. All right. Mr. Allen, so Akademiks' hubris, guilty conscience, and sheer stupidity caused him to incriminate himself. Stop. Hubris, guilty conscience, and sheer stupidity caused him to incriminate himself in several social media posts. On or about December 30th, 2023, he took to social media and issued the following statement, quote, They raided my house because there was a woman that came to my house. That woman claimed she was assaulted, not by me, by other people. But it happened in my house. I'm going to tell y'all why they raided my house. I actually even tell a full story. Let me just tell a full story. I'm telling a full story, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the cops say. The shawty I'm dealing with, she comes over. I'm drunk at a party. I come home. I'm so drunk. I can't drive my own car. I walk upstairs to where my master bedrooms are, and I fall out. Y'all going to see what the lesson is in this. I just pass out. I forgot. I Ubered a girl up to my crib. Okay. This is a retelling of this YouTube link, and we can maybe watch that today, maybe later. I don't know if I'm trying to like incur the liability of just pressing play on one of his videos on my video, but this is all a quote from him. All this what I'm reading right now is a quote from Akademiks that was allegedly from December 30th, 2023. He said, I just passed out. I forgot I Ubered a girl to my crib. And I actually believe this story so far. I have no problem believing it. I have no problem believing he was super drunk. He was texting her, wanting her to be there for him, waiting when he got back from the party. He probably maybe was beyond drunk. Who knows? I don't know. But this is a believable story. This is believable so far. So then he says, 4 a.m. rolls around. Quote, remember, I'm at my crib at 9. So he had got back to his house at 9 o'clock. Passes out in his bed. Apparently, allegedly, he had forgotten. That he had Ubered Zaya to his house. And he just goes pass out 9 o'clock or whatever, around 9 o'clock. 4 a.m. rolls around. He's knocked out. Never saw the girl. Never seen her. My homies wake me up. Like, we're leaving. Okay, so the friends come in, wake him up, and say, "Hey, we're leaving." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I was messed up. Y'all been sleeping?" They're like, "Lock the door because we're leaving." John Doe 1 and 2. They're like, "Lock the door. We're leaving." And Akademiks is claiming, this is his quote right here. This is what he's saying. He's claiming he's sleeping in his bed, and they come wake him up like, "Hey, go lock the door because we about to leave." And he's like, "Oh, I was messed up. Oh, yeah, whatever. Drunk." They're leaving 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. All right. He says, I'm like, bet. And I go lock the door. Then they say to me while I'm locking the door, they say, oh, by the way, the girl you invited, she's down there in the other end of your house in the guest bedroom. I looked at them and said, what girl I invited? They said, bro, remember you invited a girl? Remember the girl you... And I said, what are you talking about? And they say, yo, so-and-so. And they described her. And I was like, oh, shoot. Anyway, they leave. And he's like, I go out, I walk down the hallway. And he's like, I walk down the hallway. Okay. So his friends are leaving 4 or 5 in the morning. This is Akademiks' version of the story, right? He says, my friends woke me up 4 or 5 in the morning. They woke me up. I'm messed up. I passed out drunk. I forgot I invited this girl, and they wake me up. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, that girl's still in your house. She's in the guest bedroom. And he's like, oh shit. I had forgot that I invited her. And they're like, okay, cool. And then they leave. Akademiks goes try and find Zaya. This is Akademiks' version of the story. I go down the hallway to the guest bedroom. I see the girl and I'm like, oh, beep. I noticed a couple things. First of all, she's naked. Second of all, her hair is like frizzy and like that. This is the summertime. Almost like she went in the pool type of thing. I got a pool. It's a big pool. Anyway, I'm like, what's good with you? I'm waking her up. I'm like, yo, you sleeping? What's up? Anyway, I go downstairs. Now, granted, and this is still quoting him from his video he made in December. Now, granted, quote, this is a girl who I've been dealing with for a couple years. I messed with her for years. When she came over at that time, she had told me she was like a dancer or something like that. I remember. And I don't know if maybe my friends took it the wrong way, because I remember she had told me, she was like, yo, the girl you used to know, like I'm on some bad girl vibes type stuff. Basically, she was like doing her thing. I remember I told them, this is Akademiks. He's saying he remembers he told John Doe 1 and 2. This is before, when I was going to the party. I was like, yo, I'm about to get this girl coming over later for me. She told me she on some different type of vibes. I don't know if that's what they took it, and I can't really speak to other people stuff. I only speak to myself. All right, cool. So we're in the morning now. We're in the morning. Once the morning happened, and I remember even that night she woke up, I wasn't going in my backyard. And I'm like, something don't look right back there. When I look at my camera in the morning, she was getting like, I don't even like that. She was getting beep by two men's on my pool deck the night before when I'm sleeping. This is what happened. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? I invited you over here. I paid the lift. The lift was $200. And then you like, I don't want to say what she like, what? How could you come to my house and get beat by men's while I'm sleeping? Now, this is where I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all going to learn this lesson from me. And this is sincere. So he's basically saying he did not have any relations with her at all. Okay. That might come back to bite him. Why? Huh. Well, she said she did a test kit at the hospital and his DNA came back. So all the story was adding up good and fine until he acted like he didn't. Like he could have said, yeah, it was crazy. Then she came back to my bed and she was so freaky and she was on some other, and I couldn't. But that ain't what he said. He said, not that. Okay. So what is the next thing that Zaya says? Okay. As evidenced by that video, um, Academics defamed Zaya by accusing her of voluntarily having these relations with these friends at his home while maintaining that he never participated at all. He portrayed Zaya as an unloyal, derogatory term, that betrayed him and voluntarily slept with his friends in his home behind his back. These claims were made to hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube and TikTok. Academics knew that his statements were misleading and false, as he was in possession of text messages from Zaya where she stated that she did not know what happened to her on that night. It was actually him who informed her of the night's events. She even expressed to him the fact that she was really hurt and needed to seek medical attention and a test kit. Oh, I don't know what this picture is about to be. Let me just make sure. Oh, she put the receipts. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, y'all can see this. I'll let y'all see this one. Like I'm the parental control or something. Okay. This is apparently text message exchange between them. This is apparently a text message exchange between Zaya and Academics. I'm going to get tested this week. Think you should too to make sure you're good. She says, yes, I'm going now. I'm hurt really bad. It's unlike me to do this. And I don't even know the other guy's names. So dot, 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 dot. I was just laying there. Then she tried to call. Look, listen, it's obvious to me from this because a lot of times we'll see this type of lawsuit, we'll see this type of case, and we'll see these type of text messages, but the text messages are just a little bit friendly, you know? And we know why that is now based on psychology of like survivors and stuff like that. But this does not look like that. This is like she's already saying it very soon, July 17th, 2022. The next day, she's saying, I'm hurt really bad. It's unlike me to do this. I don't even know that other guy's name. And I was just laying there. And she has all these dots. Then she tried to call him. He's like, you called? Oh my gosh, this is insane. She says, I'm considering going in for a testing kit for us to figure this out. Because it's bits and pieces I remember, and I'm still not okay. Academics is like, I mean, not sure what you want me to say. That's why I asked you. While you were here, if everything you did while I was sleeping, you were okay with doing, and you said yes, so IDK. Everything you did. Okay. So he's saying, I don't know what you want me to say. That's why I asked you when you were here, if everything you did while I was sleeping, you were okay with. And you said, yeah, so IDK. She says, I was passed out for most of it, but I would wake up now and then. Also, I was in shock. I got most of the information from you. Before then, I never met the other guy. He just took the opportunity, I guess. And then Academics comes back and he says, well, that's why I told you I don't judge, just trying to make sure you made the choice to do whatever you wanted to do. She's like, always with you, but not this time around. Ooh. always with you, but not this time around? Is that her kind of saying, always before this time? Yeah. I mean, it's always wanted to, but not this time around. I blacked out. I remember you waking me up in the middle of the night. He says, they said you were trying to call and bring your friend to join in, LOL. Clearly, these text messages had no impact on, why can't I click it? Clearly, these text messages had no impact on Akademiks' decision to defame Zaya to his YouTube and TikTok followers. Upon information and belief, a week before he did that video where he came out and he was defaming her, he was saying like, "Oh yeah, I've looked at the video and my buddies were doing a bleep bleep on the." A week before that video, an Instagram page with the handle Kendra36 commented under Zaya's posts, pleading with her to come forward with her story. Whoa, this is first I'm hearing about this. Pleading with her. I find this important. Who's Kendra36 commented, pleading with her to come forward with her story. According to Zaya, all of this brought back the painful memories she had desperately tried for several months to suppress. She never communicated with the user or addressed the incident until Akademiks brought the incident to the world via his post. So now what I'm thinking, I'm wondering if somebody wasn't, if Akademiks wasn't made aware somehow, some way, because if this is true, what she's saying right here, this demonstrates to me there was a getting out in front of the story problem for Akademiks. If true, look at this. A week before he made that video, somebody named Kendra36 commented on Zaya's Instagram, begging her and pleading her to come out with her story. So people were buzzing with maybe something happened, maybe something was going on. Not only did it bring back the painful memories for her, but just the very next week, he would make a video about it. He would address, Akademiks addressed it. In a state of anger, she released a short video addressing Akademiks and saying that the incident happened and it wasn't consensual and that he did indeed participate. So there was somebody in here earlier who I did have to hide from the channel because I have to do that when people don't know how to act. But if they still in here, yes, the allegation is absolutely that Akademiks did participate. Yeah, it is. It sure is. Look, she released a video saying that it happened. It was never consensual and he did participate. She also says she has test results that say that. But his video led to further public slander as multiple media outlets began publishing Akademiks' account of what happened, leading Zaya's reputation to suffer significant harm. On the day after he did that live stream, Akademiks issued another statement to his social media account. And this is what he says, quote, what's it from? Another YouTube video. This time it's New Year's Eve. What I will say is, quote, I wasn't even going to post these type of joints. Is he saying Johns or joints? I'm saying Johns. I wasn't even going to post this type of joints, but I see Shorty, who clearly was involved in that situation. By the way, Shorty, I didn't bring this up to make you look no way. This was a dealing between me and my girl or me and my ex-girl. She just keep using that. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So I think my suspicions might have been right. He's like, I wasn't going to post this. I wasn't going to do this. But there's somebody who wanted to bring this up. This was a dealing between me and my girl or me and my ex-girl. She just kept using that incident. So I spoke on it and I cleared it. So somebody he had to get out in front of this story. Somebody was going to tell it. And that's what he says. I mean, he's saying that. I didn't mean to make you look no type of way. I haven't spoken on you. You're right. I just said what happened. I didn't even say who you were. You're the one who just jumped out the woodworks. I would have never said who you were, okay? I'm not even going to play because she made a video. I'm not even going to play the video you made. Oh, I'm not even going to play because she made a video. I'm not going to. So this is him kind of responding to her video. So it was a little tit for tat. It was a little back and forth. He said, what I do want to show, number one, first and foremost, if everything or anything you're saying is true, a person would have been charged. Nothing happened. I don't know why Tyrone spelled out like that. Like, that is certainly not how he says it. I mean, I'm certainly not the person to sit here and do the pronunciation guide, but like, ugh, why'd you type that like that? If he could have used the stars. If everything or anything you're saying is true, he's basically saying I would have been charged. Why I didn't get charged, basically. Nothing happened. Quote, you feel me? No case, nothing. Also, I will say this. These are things that the police and everybody else looked at themselves. Unlike the cost in that incident, I will say this was something that the police handled, not social media. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be a picture or something down there. Okay. It's crazy now that the police handled it. Nothing happened. They said, oh, okay, this wasn't beep. Now this girl is trying to, again, I don't know how she just jumped into the mix, but I'm going to show you exactly. By the way, I can't show you certain stuff. Like, for example, I sent her a video of her at my poolside with the two guys. I said I was sleeping. I can't show you that explicit photo. I still got the image of that. You feel me? I can't post it on here. Clearly, the police seen all that. They've seen everything. In my opinion, that's revenge, PORN. I think him like basically like teasing that he has that, like, oh, I can't show, obviously I can't show it to y'all on here. It's, in my opinion, I would take that as a threat. If I was like actually in a situation where like what is being said in this lawsuit had actually truly happened to me, I would have felt like he was threatening me to release that. Like I would have felt like, oh, scared. I would have felt scared. Like he's probably showing people already. And I saw a picture of it myself just now. I mean, it's public. I wish I hadn't seen it, but it's very alarming to me that he would say this, that he would do this. This is giving criminal minds type behavior, in my opinion. Innocent till proven guilty, and criminal minds is just a show. Okay. I sent her a video of her with the two guys. I'm sleeping. I can't show you that. I still got the image. You feel me? I can't post it, but the police saw it. They saw everything. Since Akademiks went on that defamatory tirade about Zaya, several other women have come forward with eerily similar accounts of Mr. Allen befriending them. This part I find important. Grooming them, inviting them to his house, getting them intoxicated, and assaulting them. Upon information and belief, because of these subsequent victim accounts, Mr. Akademiks has a pattern and practice of engaging in predatory behavior. Upon information and belief, several women have come forward and said that he contacted them when they were minors. Whoo, this part I find important. Forged a fake friendship with them, groomed them until they were 18, and then attempted to have relations with them. He foolishly attributes his lack of arrest or prosecution for the drug and bleep bleep of Zaya as some indication that he and his friends are clear, but nothing can be further from the truth. So they're basically saying, okay, this fool thinks that he's just out of the woods, just he's nothing ever happened just because all of a sudden so far nothing's happened. As a result of his tirade against Zaya, he has committed defamation per se and foolishly admitted that he and his friends had intercourse with her on July 16th, 2022. He communicated several demonstrably false statements accusing her of voluntarily having relations with his friends at his home. And he repeatedly made these statements to hundreds of thousands of his friends on social media. And as a result of his statements, several media outlets even picked it up and republished the claims. And Zaya's reputation has been harmed. Furthermore, his social media posts are considered slander per se, as he accused her of engaging in serious sexual misconduct. So the first cause of action is negligent infliction of emotional distress. Because they knew or should have known that their conduct, namely the substancing and assaulting of her, was likely to result in emotional distress. And that would cause illness or harm. The result of their behavior did cause illness or harm. The second cause of action is defamation per se. Uh, Defamation per se is because he published statements containing numerous defamatory claims on YouTube to members of the media and to his supporters. The statement contained numerous falsehoods about Zaya, whether on the face or by virtue of clear implication affirmatively intending to harm her. False statement, ensured as false statement would received wide circulation. Then the actual assault itself, she's suing for the actual instance of the assault, frightened her and placed her in apprehension of harm when he physically and assaulted her within the state of New Jersey. He forcibly touched or attempted to or threatened to touch her intimate areas with his own body parts without her consent. At the time of the assault, she was unconscious. She did not possess the ability, the requisite mens rea to consent. It's not funny. I'm just trying to lighten the very heavy, mood here. Upon information and belief, his DNA was found in the kit. So that's going to be a difficult one for him to overcome. As a result of his conduct, Zaya has suffered negligence for being, the homeowner and allowing it to happen on his pool deck. He had a duty to protect the person who he got the car. He got the lift to come pick her up from Pennsylvania. He's the one that had her dropped off. It was his house. He was responsible for her transportation to and from. He was responsible for the premises liability to some extent. He had a duty to warn her that those people were present at the home and that he was messed up and he wouldn't be able to greet her or entertain her when she got there. The different type of vibe thing. Oh, so when he said that basically what this is saying is he breached his duty to keep her safe in the house because he kind of like put the guys up to the knowledge of like, oh, this is basically like a freak off. Y'all can just, have your way. She now has PTSD, anxiety, sleep deprivation, public humiliation, and shame. Okay. A declaratory judgment. Okay. So that's it. And it has a preservation, don't spoil the evidence notice. Oh, and he put his interrogatories on here. Okay, well, I guess let's read these questions. So this is a demand for answers from Tyrone Blackburn to them, to the defendants. Please state whether you had physical contact with her by inserting your body part in her body part. Please state whether you had physical contact by inserting private part, a bunch of private parts. Each person who knows any fact relating to this conduct. If any of those first ones were yes, so if you actually had okay, I have it up. If you actually had this contact with her, if yes to any of these, please identify each writing relating to this conduct. So talking about, did you write about it? Did you text somebody? The present custodian of the text messages. If you said no, say why. Give me your alibi, basically. No. Okay. Demand for production of documents, any statements or so the demand for the production of documents is now Tyrone Blackburn is asking the other side to give him documents or records, physical, tangible things you can hand over. Any statement, report, or any person, government entity concerning the civil action or any subject, any photograph or video in your possession of the plaintiff and the defendants on that day and the day after. Tyrone and Zaya are asking for copies of any claims information bureau or other insurance claims searches or other documents referencing any prior subsequent injuries and claims by plaintiff. Statements, oral or written, made by any person with regard to all happenings having to do with the subject matter of this action. This is pretty broad. They're probably going to not have to actually answer this question. In the way it's currently written, they'll have to kind of like narrow it down to people that were made aware because of academics or something. Because like this technically includes me, my statements right now. Like I'm talking about the subject matter. It includes y'all's text messages to each other. It's like it's too broad. They want copies of all written reports or summaries of oral reports of all expert treating physicians, books, treatises, photographs, diagrams, charts, the summons, civil case information. Okay, so that's it. Wasn't it? Okay, so maybe I stand corrected. In my mind, in the dimension that I have memories in, academics was good, was on No Jumper podcast. Was he not? Maybe he wasn't. I'll answer a few questions. Shout out to the members in the chat. I wanted to get started. Basically, Manosphere, YouTube videos, leaked audio of DJ Academics ex-girlfriend. Oh my word. Oh my word. I'll have to look that up. He was on Joe Budden, not Adam 22. He def was. I, I don't know, y'all. I mean, everything in the web, it all starts kind of webbing. Is this because of the ebony stuff? No. No, it is not. Thank you, Monica. Shout out Monica in the chat. The leaked audio of the screaming ex is terrifying. Yes. So there is some leaked audio. And I did see this one from the Tisa Tales. Is it Tissa? Tisa. I love her channel. She's very funny and pretty, and I like her and smart. And on top of it, and works hard. I really like her. Y'all should go apply to her. Y'all should go subscribe to her. But I saw that she was playing that video. I think it was her anyway. Even if it wasn't her, still go over there. What she's doing is cute and good. But screaming. It's like a video snippet from a live stream Akademiks was doing. And he gets up, walks away from the screen or something, and it's like he's not talking. And you can just hear like the background noise, and like the door is open in the background. It's like, the lights are off, but it's got those blue like hue lights or whatever. And somebody is shrieking. Like it isn't like a playful, like something fun. Like it isn't like, ah, like it isn't like you're wrestling with your boyfriend type of screaming. It's like kind of sends a chill down your neck type of screaming. Yeah, so I don't show the videos. It's video, but she's not in it. Yeah, blood curling. I don't know what the saying is. Curling screams. Yeah, it was like pain. Almost like a painful, like it was like pain. Kind of screaming, yelping. Yeah, yelp. That Yes, thank you. Tati says that video is actually his girlfriend screaming, not the woman who filed the lawsuit. I would check the dates to make sure. Yeah, I don't think that this is the video. I don't think that it's the woman who filed the lawsuit. I think it's a different person. But I think people are saying, isn't that also just an interesting like little tidbit going on too? Yeah. Go apply to stop. Fill up the application. That was right. Just to be clear, y'all, I was never saying that is the same girl in the video. I'm just talking about something else, something separate. It's just something that's being talked about. But yes, to be very abundantly clear, if that is how y'all took it, that is not what I'm saying. That's not what anyone is saying. It's not the same girl. He got caught for sure. Yeah, like gut deep, guttural, like primal, like not pleasant. You know what I mean? Like pain, torture, even some might say. He has a very negative vibe, Shona said. Shona, sorry. Only seen him a few times. Can't stand him. Me neither. I don't know that much about him. Like I haven't been able to make myself care about any of his stuff. But once a court filing comes around, and y'all, you know what? I did see another court filing in New Jersey against him. Another court filing against him in New Jersey. I don't know what it's for. If y'all want me to put a one in the chat if you want me to look that one up, and I'll make a video on it. I don't know what it is, girl. It might be child support. I don't know. I just saw two come up when I searched in the court filings today. Yeah, someone compared me to Persephone, the Greek like mythological figure, like because she goes through hell, like she has to live with the literal devil in hell, and then like every so often she gets to come up, and like when she comes up, that's when there's flowers. I'm like, okay, I'll take that comparison. I'll take it. He drinks all day. Who said that? Where did I see that? Sometimes, oh yeah, he drinks all day and smells funny. Stop. Who? He looks like Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Okay, y'all do want me to. Okay. One's in the chats. Okay. I know. I don't have nothing else to do, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have asked if y'all wanted me to if I didn't want it. If I was gonna say that. Cassandra of Greek myth. Oh, I have to look her up later. Always correct, but perhaps not believed. Oh, she's cooler. I don't know nothing about these Greek myths. Okay. I mean, I took a class in college like 15 years ago or something, like a very long time ago. Thank you. Seriously. So yeah, I mean, what else? What did I miss? What did y'all see? What's going on? What did y'all find to be important? What did I point out that you didn't realize that before? I mean, let's see. Let me scroll through the things. I had highlighted a couple things. I'll do a little recap here. I mean, I'm shocked they put this picture in here. That is a shocking picture. I'm shocked. It is full on. Like they should have put that not on there. That dummy on his live just yapping away, still throwing threats around right now. Josh, please tell me he's not live right this second. Certainly. Let me look. If he was live right this second, I would be shocked. But not really. I wouldn't be shocked at all, actually. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Ooh, bless his heart. Have y'all been watching Baby Reindeer while I look this up? Have y'all been watching the Baby Reindeer? I started it. I couldn't finish it. I might try to finish it, but it got really messed up. Is he live? Oh, Tissa's live. Tissa. Is it Tissa or Tissa? I just go back and forth. Is it King Akademiks? He is live right now. He is live right now. Oh, about Drake. Oh, I was just dabbling in the Drake drama earlier myself. Okay, he's a huge loser, someone said. You loved the Baby Reindeer? Oh, I would hardly say I love it. It's just a little disturbing, girl. Yes, he is live right now. But he's not live about this. He's defending Drake. Well, actually, that seems pretty on brand, actually. Oh, he's been going at it. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I mean, look, listen. I kind of believe Zaya seems credible. Because she kind of like says that she did stuff. She's like, yeah, I mean, I got in the hot tub. Yeah, I did it with him before or whatever. Like, but not these friends. I don't know these people from Adam. Oh, also, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. My friend told me about it today. This is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Sheba said if they have the rape kit and the footage, why haven't they arrested him? And that seems to be what he's hanging his hat on. He's kind of saying, don't you think if that was all true, they would have arrested me? I don't know. I do wonder this. Drake with the woof woof. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see that allegation? Oh my God. It makes me sick to even think about it. Oh, you might as well hit the like. Well, once you give the view, you might as well thank you. Thank you very much. Questions that need answers. It's true. If a R kit does not include a drug test, then why not? I don't know what it includes. I'm wholly ignorant on it, what it includes. I have no idea. Okay, Matt said, okay, yeah, I'm not really that hung up on it. They didn't arrest R. Kelly for 30 years. Point. Point. Web is certainly webbing. Oh, they haven't arrested him, Miss T says. Miss T says they have not arrested him because he has to consent or be compelled by a judge to give his DNA unless he's been arrested before and the cops have his DNA. That makes sense. Because they need to be able to compare his DNA to the kit sample that they have. And what Miss T is saying is, well, you can't just go around just demanding everybody's DNA. If he's already been arrested before and they have his DNA, they could use it. If a judge compels him to give the DNA, they could use it. If he shows up voluntarily and just gives the DNA, they could use it. But the police themselves can't just show up and knock on the door and compel. But can they get a warrant? Maybe that's what you mean. They can't unless I don't have any expertise on this. I don't really even remember learning about it. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Sheba. Tiki had said, can I give a little bit of a TLDR conclusion? I will do that, but first I want to just go through some of this stuff I highlighted, just kind of circle back. What did I find to be important on my first read through? That they went back and forth with videos publicly. That she dated him. She was a girlfriend of sorts, and then they hadn't spoken for a year, but that was an important note. The power was out. Why was the power out that night? I don't know why I thought that was interesting. She seems to have been given some type of substance. She was extremely hot, as if her body was on fire. She felt lightheaded and dizzy, and she was feeling those feelings as she was being forced to take shots, according to her complaint. She asked for her phone. She didn't have her phone whenever, let me just check where this picture is. Okay. She didn't have her own phone, so Akademiks had her phone. How did Akademiks? So that doesn't actually add up with his story though, because how would he have gotten her phone if he was just in his bed sleep and was just alerted to her existence with her, you know what I mean? Like, how did he have her phone? He victim blamed and ridiculed her, called her derogatory things. She participated in a wire call with him. Unconscious and incoherent. She has these scratches and bruises, and his DNA did show up allegedly, apparently, in the kit. Also importantly, it appears as though she has provided receipts, if these are to be believed. These appear to be receipts right here that he absolutely did admit to engaging in the behaviors with her himself. Someone else named Kendra, 36, was begging and pleading her to come forward with her story. And other women, apparently, according to the filing, other women have come forward with eerily similar accounts of this. Also, there's been allegations in here of minors, people under the age of 18, being groomed with a fake friendship. And now we have him defending Drake, who is standing up against exactly those same type of allegations right now, grooming young girls to become friends with him when he really has one thing in mind the whole time. So I guess, yeah. Okay. So fast forward, TLDR, conclusion, recap of the lawsuit. DJ Akademiks has been sued in a New Jersey court by an ex-girlfriend. In this lawsuit, the lawyer is a familiar face. We're becoming familiar with him, Tyrone Blackburn. He is becoming a little bit of a celebrity super lawyer of sorts. He's the one suing Diddy. He's the one suing Christian Combs. He's suing Diddy on the behalf of two people, I think. He's got his workload. He's got a workload going on. So Akademiks is getting sued for alleged assault and also for defamation. The S assault and the S assault was allegedly had happened back in 2022. Then this lady who claims that she was assaulted, this ex-girlfriend Zaya, she says she was pretty much planning on just not bringing it up. She wasn't going to seek any type of justice or any type of relief from the incident. She just wanted to let it go. But Akademiks came and had to open his big mouth at the end of last year. He's talking about, oh yeah, my buddies were there and they were running a choo-choo on this girl and it was nasty, and basically all of this stuff, which caused all these memories to come back for her. What had actually happened that night, according to her, is that she was given substances. She was given alcohol. She was tricked. She was tricked to come there by Akademiks, who said, come meet me and be at my house and whatever. When she got there, he wasn't even apparently there, or he wasn't around. There was these two other guys she had never met. They're forcing her to drink. She ends up in the hot tub, which she got into alone. But then soon before you know it, these other guys are in the hot tub, and then they're all drinking and forcing her to drink, and she gets actually assaulted. All of this is caught on camera on the pool deck of Akademiks' house. The next morning she wakes up. Well, also that night, she alleges that she was then kind of like plopped off into Akademiks' bed, and then he proceeded to assault her. But then she woke up the next morning, dizzy, lightheaded, confused, goes find him. He's sitting at his computer and he's like, do you know what you did last night? You know, you hooked up with my boys or whatever. And she's like, no, and doesn't believe it. He's the one that actually tells her that that even happened. She says she doesn't even remember it happening. She says she doesn't even remember it happening. And she wouldn't have remembered it if he didn't bring it up. And the whole while he's like, but you're cool though, right? Like, we're cool. You're cool. Like, everything's cool. Like, you admitted to, you agreed to it and all that, right? Like, I'm not judging. Like, you agreed to it and all that. And then he's like, where's your clothes? And that's what this lawsuit says. One thing leads to the next. She's going to leave it to herself. He comes out, opens his big mouth about it. She, out of anger, posts her own video about it. Then he comes back, posts another video. Now we're in this lawsuit. The people getting sued are Akademiks, his friends, these two friends that one of them may or may not be working with or for him. Other one is somebody they're calling Slime. Yeah, that's pretty much the wrap up. And, yeah, I guess that's all I really had for today. Make sure you're subscribed and all of that, and I will certainly be keeping up with this. So turn the notifications on and all of that. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, meet it. Okay, bye.